guys, welcome. This is an all zodiac signs reading for the full moon in Sagittarius. I think it's going to hit about 3:42 a.m. here in the States tomorrow on the 11th. So check when it's going to be at its peak for you. I'm going to be reading from Queen of the Moon Oracle, and then I'll go through the astrology for this full moon. There's a lot to cover. And then I'll do a tarot spread. It is time stamped, so you can just hover over the play bar and jump to whatever it is that you would prefer to watch. Whatever your pleasure. All right, so Queen of the Moon Oracle, let's see what our message is for this full moon. Assessing, okay. Kind of like the numerology number 9 because it's a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the 9th house. So that sort of feels right on the money. Let me go ahead and open this up. The assessing. Assess your current position. You must make sure your blind spots are revealed and that you are honest with others and yourself. Sometimes the hard decision is the best decision. You should be able to assess and move quickly based on that assessment. You have begun your journey, and now it is time to assess where you are and what to do next. You have made a decision. You have worked and walked the path for some time, and yet you understand that even that in every journey, it's a wise action to check the map. Oh, and that will figure into it. I'll mention that. We've got the nodes of the moon are kind of factoring into this lunation. Sometimes we have to go along a pathway and we keep going even if it seems like that way is no longer the right way for us. Sometimes we feel we have gone too far to turn around, and so we settle on a journey and destination that doesn't really suit us or satisfy us. However, if we just had some courage, we could have reassessed as we went and perhaps ended up somewhere else, somewhere better. Now is the time to look carefully at all aspects of your life, especially the areas in which you have set some intentions or goals. Ask yourself, do I still even want it? Do I still want the same end result? If the answer is no, ask yourself what you can do to maintain momentum and head towards what you now desire. Although it doesn't seem terribly glamorous, assessment has a high payoff for us if we bother to do it well. Doing it well means we really look hard at how things are going. All of us have some kind of blind spot, so it's worth exposing this by consulting a trusted friend or finding where negative repeating patterns are and looking for the cause. Shining a light on a blind spot and taking action to shift it is one of life's big catalysts for change. This is a really good message, and I love, I love the balloon, and I love her looking through the looking glass, because I always see, this Sagittarian energy, the 9th house, it's mutable. It's a mutable sign, and mutable means change. So it's a perfect message, and I love the 9th house energy, the 9 coming through. And there's wisdom, there's spiritual wisdom encompassed in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is expansive, so if we're wanting expansion and if Jupiter is ruling this full moon, we want to release whatever's in our way, so that by the time we get to the new moon in Cancer at the end of the month, where we're setting intentions that are going to be something we're gestating, right? Cancer is kind of like 4th house, and it's very nurturing, and we kind of hold it more, it's more womb-like, right, than this. Then we want to be expansive in like, what do I need to get out of the way? Because I'm going to be birthing something new. then this is a perfect message. This is the perfect time to, like if you think you've been going along and you're like, maybe this isn't really the right path, maybe something isn't really going, but I'm too far down the road. No, you're not. Reassess, kids. This is the full moon for you. So I love it. Great message for all of us. And the Queen of the Moon strikes again. Okay. So before I jump into tarot, I'm going to talk to you about this full moon. So you are free to move about the cabin, go forward to tarot if you'd like, because I got a lot to cover. This full moon is occurring at 20 degrees of Sagittarius. So look at what house Sagittarius falls in your chart first, where 20 degrees of Sagittarius falls, because it's going to be in a different house for each of you. So you'll get some clues as to where this full moon is happening in your own natal chart. So that's first. But, and I've got notes here, so that's what I'm looking at. If you think I'm looking in a weird direction, that's why. This energy has been applying all day long, and it doesn't really hit till 3:42 a.m. I was right on the East Coast, so it'll be sort of just before midnight on the West Coast of the U.S. It'll be sometime during the early morning hours across the pond, and other times later, Australia, check your local listings. We have the sun in Gemini opposite the full moon. So with the sun in Gemini, we're kind of living in a world of thought and perception and connecting with others through shared ideas and engaging in the mutable way that our minds must consider all sides of things as we intellectualize our experience of life. So that's sort of the Gemini aspect, right? We're in Gemini season. So, Sagittarius is the mutable fire sign that's opposite Gemini on the natal, on the zodiac wheel, and where we take the ideas in the mind and then we elevate them into higher truths. So Sag is a centaur. Sagittarius is a centaur. You see that, the glyph, of the half man, half horse and the arrow and all that, right? And is a wisdom bringer who helps others through the woods, is the fable there, is the story. Gemini creates the possibility for curiosity. We love that. Sagittarius takes that spark and turns it into something extraordinary and exciting. Like laws, like spiritual principles, credos, wisdom, all that emerges from diversity. This is where we experience the highest aspirations that are available to us when we're brave enough to reach for them. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and this is also the sign that tells us we can have it all as long as we stretch ourselves to attract, to receive, to hold on to the good that's always coming our way, right? I always tell you with Jupiter, it's, wants to give us all good things, but we have to be open to receive it. We have to reach for it first. So mutable, as I said, talks about change, being flexible, being open, capable and open to change, with the ability to kind of shapeshift a little bit through life. Perfect oracle card for that, right? A mutable full moon means we are, in fact, changing shape in this lunar cycle, inside and out. The collective, all of us, bumping up against all this personal transformation, just as the personal changes we're navigating are being shaped by the collective in return. So it's that inside out. We're shape-shifting internally, and then the collective is shape-shifting externally, and then we're all kind of bumping up against each other. So it's kind of a two-way street. The whole system is in motion, essentially. And this full moon is in an exact square with the nodes of the moon. So like this is a square, right? But also on the flip side, that's a square. So now essentially we have a circle. We've got the 4 quadrants. So those points that reflect the nodes of the moon are the points that reflect the collective journey. The north node, where we're headed, the south node, where we've come from, what we're leaving behind. Past life. Karma, dharma, you can say, whatever way you like to refer to it. And the squares mean change. Because they're, wall, floor, immovable. Something has to change. And we're changing in all directions. And this division of the circle into 4 parts makes this full moon a moment of tension and conflict. All right? That doesn't sound fun, but lean into what this lunar cycle is bringing you personally, and you may find yourself profoundly changed by this, the time we meet the new moon in Cancer later this month. So you've got this opportunity to shape-shift enough for yourself, excuse me, and assess where you are on your path, right? And release what you don't want anymore, what isn't working for you, because you're now going to be mutable, right? Changeable, flexible, because you're going to be open and receptive to the gifts, right? To all that Jupiter, all that Sagittarius has to offer, so that by the time the new moon comes, the seeds of intention that you plant, what you're ready to gestate, right? And bring to life on your journey, can't be messed with by the collective. It's yours. It belongs to you. We're talking Empress stuff. We're talking divine feminine. Ooh. Did you just get that chill? Got it? Okay, so I wanted to say that because we'll let everybody else that is not enlightened sort it out for themselves. We're the way showers. We're the light workers. Okay, so we kind of have to have a clue as to how to birth something more clear, more beautiful, more enlightened, so that we can keep the calm and then bring the calm to the masses. That's the way I'm interpreting this. We're getting the gifts at this time. We're getting the benefit of Jupiter's influence. The Wheel of Fortune is coming for us through this lunation, and so that we kind of see the shape-shifting energy as a positive. And we see this opportunity for change with the North Node and the South Node as like, this is exactly what I needed. This is all here to help me get unstuck, to help me assess. I'm being guided to assess it so I can release it, because I wouldn't have done it myself. And so that when the new moon in Cancer comes, I become that sister to Mother Earth, to Gaia. I become that Empress energy with higher spiritual wisdom. It sounds a little woo-woo, but I think if you can, think about it in that way, and you can even be like, you don't need to be a woman to embrace this. We all have feminine energy. So I'm saying there's a reason why you're getting this message today. And that is that it is about abundance and manifestation and how you can maximize the energies in this lunar cycle for the good of the collective. It's all going mad out there right now. We need to be sources of calm in our households, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, in our groups, right? And we're kind of like those little feeder ants that go out there and bring some calm, right? And positivity and light and positive energy to a world gone mad. All right, so I digress. So this is Jupiter's full moon, and as the planet of abundance and manifestation that rules Sagittarius, which is the sign of expansion, it's a gift that Jupiter moved into the sign of his exaltation, which is Cancer. After spending a year in the sign of his detriment, which was Gemini, Jupiter has kind of trouble manifesting in Gemini because there's too many debates and things to consider for focused construction. But in Cancer, Jupiter spreads out and creates. Cancer invented the womb, as I mentioned earlier, where we hold and gestate our ideas. And the next new moon is exactly conjunct Jupiter. I mean, let me tell you, in 2 weeks, Jupiter and, in Cancer and the new moon conjunct, holding hands. It's going to be a real lucky new moon. So in some ways, what we release in this lunation helps set the stage for the success we'll be planting in the next new moon. Yay! Mercury has also just moved into Cancer and is only a few degrees away from Jupiter right now. And so together, they're both holding this great eliminator angle. It's about 150-degree angle. And, I see it as like when you're riding down the highway and you're in that inner lane and there's an exit ramp way over here and you're driving and you're like, nope. That to me is the great eliminator angle. Got to get off this highway. And it's like a fork in the road kind of an energy that they are holding in this angle, Mercury and Jupiter. So, and they're holding that angle with Pluto. So it's Mercury and Jupiter in this fork in the road with Pluto, Lord of the Underworld. So Mercury teaming up with Jupiter has us feeling large and fabulous. But the Lord of the Underworld is here to remind us the following. If we want to be as big as we imagine, we have to allow the change and transformation necessary to make more room sort of in our psyche for a greater expression out there in the world. So it's sort of what I just described of who we are, who we all are here. When you come here, we are in a collective of our own. That's what I've built, that with you, that you're building it with me. We are our own little collective. Got it? Okay, and I feel it's very special. And so we've got something going here. And if we want to have it be something bigger that we then leave here after each little reading and we kind of go back out as those little feeder ants that I said, right? If we have to allow the change, that mutable change and transformation necessary so that we can have a greater impact out there in the world. So again, we're pointing to that new moon in Cancer when the sun and the moon will be exactly conjunct Jupiter. So let this mutable energy do its thing. Not everybody likes mutable energy. I'm a Virgo, that's a mutable sign. I love it, so I'm cool with it. But if you've got a lot of fixed energy in your chart, you're probably not going to be happy with it. But just kind of go with it, you know, do a lot of listening to music, take a lot of baths, you know, Epsom salt baths with some lavender in it, get real chill, do what you need to do, because it's real important, because Pluto tends to keep things hidden in the shadow. And this geometry is like lifting the hood of the car that you've heard me talking about and getting a clear look at what's been keeping the engine from running at full capacity, right? That's the whole thing with this fork in the road. Pluto says, look at the gunk, release the gunk. Boom. That's what's happening. Fork in the road. We're assessing. What do we need to release? What do we need to clean out? So, it's a shape-shifting moment, and the only way through is to let it do its work on you. Let go where you're called to release. Stretch where you're asked to grow. Mutable energy is in charge now, and much of what's shifting is outside of your control anyway, so the task is to kind of surrender to it. Allow the changes to happen. With the fire of inspiration, Sagittarius, the water of feeling, Cancer, and the air of new thought, that's Gemini, all swirling together, this full moon offers a rare opportunity to rewire your inner circuitry in real time and to plant yourself more deeply in the earth. Stay connected to your body, your breath, and your willingness to allow, right? I'm allowing this. You might want to put that in your intentions for the new moon too. When that comes in a couple weeks, what you begin to embody now could become the foundation for a richer, more expansive version of your life. And that moves from vision to embodiment and from longing to lived experience. So it's a big one, guys. I'm sending you so much love for this full moon. And feel free, since I did timestamp it, to come back and listen to this again if you need to. And, you know, this isn't an intention setting full moon. It's just a release. I would definitely be saging this full moon for sure. Sage your house. Definitely do some cleansing rituals if you have the opportunity. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big moon. Okay, so let me do the tower spread. That's what we're moving into now. And here we go for the full moon in Sagittarius. I do read for relationships, and even though the full moon in Sag is not necessarily about relationships, surely whatever you're on the path that you're sort of setting your intentions for, you can reassess about that as well. Correct? Correct. So it's not just about, life in general. It can be very specific for you. Overall energy here is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. It writes itself. What's crossing us here is the star. Right, so, this is the dream, the wish, the hope. So it can be a little challenging at times to kind of keep hope alive, to trust that the universe really does have our back. And so we get, as souls having a human experience, a little skittish about that. This is that thing where I put my arms out and I said, get into the mantra of I allow. I will allow whatever is meant to change. I'm being changeable, flexible, mutable. I'm open to it because I trust there is a bigger plan. I'm going on faith and trust. So that's what we've got. Beautiful. Okay, so in the root here, I usually call this the root of the problem, but let's look at the below. What aren't we seeing? 5 of Wands, some tension, some conflict, maybe some outside source of interference. In the past, 10 of Pentacles. Yes, ma'am. 10 of Pentacles. That is an abundance card, but in my readings for relationships, we're looking at long-term partnership, life partnership, building a life with somebody. So that was definitely something that we were considering. And with the Wheel of Fortune, we also talk about divine time, right? The timing of things. Maybe there's a conflict around that. Top of mind. What's top of mind? Perfect. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is your conscious awareness here. Top of mind is about, beginning with the end in mind, being a little more methodical about it, a little more deliberate about it. You could even be wondering if this person that you're dealing with is coming toward you. What's taking so long? The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, and knights make offers. So you may be kind of feeling there might be some, tension, like what's taking them so long for some of you. For others of you, it's a deliberate approach to the pace of things. In the near future, High Priestess, perfect. The High Priestess, which is associated with the moon, and the moon rules Cancer, so I love this. In the near future, could even be as soon as tomorrow with the full moon, it could be about what your intuition, the guidingness energy of your intuition, your connectedness to the divine, what your intuition is telling you about, the direction, the path. I love this. I had this picture in my mind when I was going like this for the new moon and the gestational energies of the new moon in Cancer. And there she is. Spirit's talking to you. Empress, divine feminine energy, that nurturance, that, that I allow, I receive what is going to come my way. Wow. In the hidden energy of your person, Page of Wands. I don't really mind it because it feels like it's sort of enthusiastic. It's one of my favorite little guidebooks talks about laser focus, on soul's delight. It's passionate. It's exuberant. Now, it could also be that this person may reach out to you soon. It's a messenger and it's usually positive in nature, but we'll see when we get to the clarifiers. And in the outcome position, Two of Wands, it's talking about the path and assessing, right? Do I still want this? Because the Two of Wands asks us, in a world of possibilities, what do I want? And which path is likely to get me there? So for most of us, we're being called to say, is the path I'm on still the path that I want to be on? Do I want to take another path, or do I just need to make some adjustments? Perfect. And for some of you, it will be are we on the same path together? Are we moving toward the same thing? Okay? Perfect. So let's jump in and see what we get. Wheel and the Star. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like, and the cards from the bottom of the deck, for those of you that are new, welcome, happy to have you here, are what you can't see because it's either playing out behind the scenes or it's in your unconscious awareness. I like to show it to you just so you can factor it in. So there could be like, I'm not really sure what I'm dealing with. It's an assessment card. It's assessing realities on the ground. Very similar to what the Oracle had to say, right? This is about, an offer. Ace of Pentacles can be a new beginning. It can be an up-leveling. It can just be a solid offer that leads to like a happily ever after. And I do feel, from what I'm seeing, with that Wheel of Fortune, which can be about divine timing, it can be That moment where with crossed by the star is, it's challenging to just say, I'm just giving it over to the universe. It's a challenge because this is what you want. This is what you've been trying to manifest. And now, on some level, in unconscious awareness, there's this uncertainty, right? You're kind of like, I don't know what I'm really dealing with. I'm trying to assess the situation. So it doesn't look like there's anything terrible here, but there's this uncertainty that requires some fresh assessment. Now, in the below energy, the root of it, of what's causing the uncertainty, we have the Five of Wands. Page of Swords, Temperance, Eight of Swords. So you're curious about this Page of Swords. Almost like there's not a lot of clarity. Because with Temperance, which is more Sagittarian energy, the higher octave of it, Temperance will kind of go with the flow. It's a little bit of self-control and restraint. Like, I'm not sure about this, right? The curiosity, little spire detective energy with the Page of Swords as to what's the conflict, right? What's this about? Why so much tension or conflict or drama? But you don't really act on it. You're just kind of in reserve. The Temperance will just kind of go with the flow or let it play itself out a bit. And in addition to that, we have the Eight of Swords sort of behind the scenes. It almost feels like there's some stuckness. There's this, someone's overthinking something here. Someone's overthinking. It could be a little bit of both of you, but it just feels like if your mind runs away with you, and we've got the potential for that, nothing gets resolved. If your curiosity gets the better of you, and even if you're in this zone of, well, I'm just kind of going to let it see if it resolves itself. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm not going to do anything about it. But then your head kind of goes into like, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know my next best step. I'm second guessing myself because it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that, right? And then you end up taking no action. And so it sort of festers. So I feel this is what's happening in the below, in that part where I told you that Pluto, the Lord of the Underworld, is kind of going to be at odds here with that fork in the road. This is what's going to cause a fork in the road. This is where the assessment needs to happen. This is why you're kind of challenged by that star. Why don't I just feel like I can trust the universe? Well, there's a reason. And it's something that is kind of lingering below the surface that nobody's doing anything about, nobody's really talking about. When I say nobody, I mean you and your person. Okay? So let's look at the Ten of Pentacles in the past. Lovers, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, right. So in the past, I feel it was just beautiful. Ten of Pentacles in the Lovers. I feel like you really chose each other. This has been a very sacred connection with a spiritual bond. Felt really good and comfortable. Something you could imagine seeing yourself with this person for the long haul. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it's again patience because setting intentions around it even, but the Seven of Pentacles is something that grows organically. Like it just didn't really faze you because it's like, this is going swimmingly. Everything's just unfolding so beautifully and so naturally. And even the Three of Pentacles, just cooperative, co-creative. We're on the same page. Everything's simpatico, you know. So I feel like this could be the beginning of the connection for some of you. It could be things that have unfolded over time. For others of you, though, you know, like there's not been any red flags or very many of them or any that were severe. So now in your conscious awareness, what your top of mind, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. There's the Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Wands, 6 of Wands. So, this is behind the scenes, or in your unconscious awareness. Yeah, I'm feeling with the Wheel of Fortune, something's weighing on you now. That things are moving very slowly. And so there's this energy of pressure. Now it's taking too long, or it's become burdensome because you may not be talking about it, or worse, you may not really be seeing eye to eye anymore. Enter the Five of Wands. Now there may be tension. And maybe you don't have all the information as to why. And so you're kind of forced into this temperance. Yeah, okay, no, all right, we're good. All right, yeah, you're forced into this. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to keep my powder dry because there's some kind of everything sort of backpedaled a bit. And in your heart of hearts, you know, can we compromise? The Six of Wands. Can we compromise? Can we meet in the middle? I want to understand. Let's just, you know, navigate this together. Can we get to a win-win outcome? Is there some way we can, you know, negotiate around this? See, that Six of Wands is seeking some form of peace. So if you're seeking some form of peace and you've got this 10 of Wands, which is bearing down on you, it's almost like this Wheel of Fortune now is, I understand why the star is the challenge, is crossing you. Because now it's like, well, maybe this isn't in the cards for us. And that's why we have the Five of Wands in the root here, in the below, in the problem area, because things have really slowed down, maybe even come to a screeching halt for some, and it's creating this energy where you don't know where to go with it. So let's see the High Priestess in the near future. Ace of Swords, good. Seven of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Woo-hoo. I am glad in the near future you're going to have some clarity. Almost like it feels like an intuitive hit that brings some, almost like an epiphany, something you will see quite clearly, where you almost have a reaction of, how did I not see that? After a lot of confusion and mixed messages, I do feel like that Seven of Cups gives you some healthy options. Okay, sometimes it comes in as overwhelm and all that stuff. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it solves that. I think it's like, now I see it, and now I can process all the Seven Cups of Crazy here. Right now I can sort of sort through the options with clarity. So that's what I think is coming through. In this Five of Swords, I don't see it as defeat, and I don't even see it as sabotage. I see it as, you know, that energy of someone who, I feel it's coming from your person. And because, you know, it's behind the scenes, right? It's not your energy, it's theirs. I feel it's someone who wasn't honest and upfront. So it's coming through like a little gaslighting. Not gaslighting to be cruel, although for some of you that could be it. But a little gaslighting to kind of dig themselves out of a hole. Because there was so much agreement, such, you know, good energy, being on the same page, things moving in the same direction for the two of you. And now we've hit this little, not so little bump in the road, and it's weighing on you, and you're trying to reach some kind of a win-win outcome where you both can find that middle ground where you're both okay with it. Like, okay, can we agree on this? You agree, I agree, okay. Like, you're okay with, you know, dialing back somehow, meeting in the middle somehow. This person, I think they're trying to like, there's almost a little bit of their own denial of the terms before. And so it's coming across a little gaslighty to me. That's why you don't know your next best move. That's why you don't have clarity. Thank goodness you adopted the energy of temperance, of like, I'm just going to kind of ride this out and see what is revealed. That's why you're going to get the help from Spirit. All aces are a gift from Spirit of clarity. And that's why you're going to be like, oh, now I see. How could I not see that? And it's going to help you with like almost organizing those options instead of it being a fustercluck. But I feel that behind the scenes, this person is going to be a little, or reveal themselves, Ace of Swords, to be a little gaslighty. Right? Not intentionally cruelly, but almost to kind of, you know, like, oh, I didn't say that. That wasn't what I meant, you know, when you know full well. So let's continue and see if that bears out. Message from Spirit is the Empress. Beautiful Divine Feminine. Three of Swords. Page of Wands. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. I feel this person reverting to the Page of Wands. Kind of almost going backwards a little bit. Getting a little surface level on you when you've had this depth of a connection. And it hurts your feelings. I'm not saying terrible heartbreak. I feel like you see this coming. I feel like you're in it right now. And what's the full moon telling you to do? It's telling you to assess the situation. Two of Pentacles. Assess the situation. Release what isn't going to work for you. Nine of Pentacles talks about our independence and autonomy. She is a single person tarot. I feel the need to tell some of you, your assessment may determine that you're better off on your own. For those of you that have already come this close to cutting bait, yeah, you will. You'll see this as your sign. For others of you that aren't there yet, but know you need to make a pivot, this is your fork in the road, and something will have to change. Because if you're going to be dealing with somebody that is reverting to some kind of surface level, like getting their own needs met in the moment, keeping things, cheap and cheerful, and, bouncing along and not really being as invested in the connection, yeah, you'll need to make a pivot of some sort, because that's not going to fly. Page of Wands. Chariot. Queen of Wands. King of Pentacles. I'm going to pull for this Two of Wands in the outcome position. First, Six of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, fresh start. All right, good. So I feel like Spirit is letting you know here that our little Page of Wands here is the Page of Wands may hurt your feelings with their behavior. It's already happening. We've slowed to a crawl from what was already in progress as something moving toward a long-term connection. And now this person's kind of backtracking, and they may act, or already be acting, like, you crazy. I never said that. You crazy. Like, no, you're not crazy. And it's going to hurt your feelings. And, someone that's already been invested with you, and, even though you may have agreed, well, let's see where this goes, but yeah, I want what you want. There's all kinds of cooperative, co-creative energies between you, and you've been all in this space of, right, in divine time, we could have this beautiful, happily ever after energy, and now this person's like, who dis? And I'm feeling that Spirit's letting you know this person may hurt your feelings with their nonchalance, lack of investment, in it for a minute kind of bullshit behavior, pardon my Francois. So I feel this is a clue, like, individuate yourself. Get a life of your own, be independent, be autonomous. Don't always make yourself available. Don't always be available. Don't always answer on the first ring, second ring, third ring. And when you do answer, answer breathless. Sorry, sometimes a little bit of game playing is necessary. Sorry. Let them wonder. Let them know you have a life. That's really important. In the hidden energy of this person, Page of Wands. Then we have the Chariot. This person, now we see Chariot to the Queen of Wands. This person still wants to win you. You're still the prize. This is still this energy of, there's this, it's almost coming through a little bit. I'm feeling a little bro culture vibe with this Page of Wands. I don't like it, but okay, you're still, like, it's moths to a flame with the Queen of Wands. It's moths to a flame with the Nine of Pentacles too. She got lots of suitors around her, so there's that. And then the same with the Queen of Wands. So you're being called to sort of elevate yourself and not be the doormat. Not that you are, but if in any way, shape, or form you think you've been, check that. I do feel you're in assessment mode, and that's real important, because look what we've got here. King of Pentacles from the bottom of the deck. And that King of Pentacles is someone who shows up for you. That's who this person has been. Someone you could see yourself with for the long haul. Someone invested in this connection, invested in life partnership. That's who this person could be, and it's showing up here in their unconscious awareness. But they're acting a fool. They still want to win you though. Triumph, victory, right? Forward progress. Wants to get the Queen of Wands, but underneath, I am hopeful when I see the King of Pentacles. Because it means that it's available to them, that energy, stepping up, showing up, being someone you can count on, depend on, right? Rely on. Someone that has the characteristics of someone you could have a life partnership with or begin that process. So how does this all unfold going forward? Two of Wands, you sort of reassessing the path. There's the Six of Cups, past life soulmate energy. Excuse me. Ten of Pentacles. Right? Am I on the right path with this person? Are they the right person? Are we on the right path? Is it moving in the direction I want it to move? And that we were on the path to begin with. So there may need to be some adjustments made. And look what comes out from behind the scenes. Page of Pentacles. Fresh start energy. Could be a fresh start with this person. Could be a fresh start for the path for you. You could be opening up to receive. I allow myself to receive a past life soulmate. Some of you, it will be someone brand new. Others of you, it will be renewing the path with this person who has what it takes, but they're just playing baby BS games right now. Take it as it resonates for you. It's a general reading for the collective of all signs, so you have to take it as it speaks to your situation. Okay? So, that's what I have for you. This went super long. If you enjoyed the reading, I hope you will click subscribe below, and that's what helps keep me on the platform. And this went long because I had a lot to talk about with that full moon, and I will be going around the zodiac for all zodiac signs, Aries through Pisces, good for your sun, moon, rising in Venus for you and your person, so you can get potentially 8 little mini readings. The link is below for that. If you already have any of the individual Zodiac memberships or the All Access Pass, it's already available to you over in moments.com, where your membership is housed, and you just have to get inside there, go to your membership, and then scroll to the full moon collection, and it's there for you. Otherwise, if you want to grab it, the link is below. Okay? That's what I have, and I'm headed to the extended in a second. Let me give you the astrology that showed up. Wheel of Fortune came out twice. That's Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Sagittarius full moon. The star is Aquarian energy. We have the Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Temperance, Sagittarius. We have the Lovers is Gemini, which we have the Sun in Gemini right now. We've got the High Priestess, as I said, is Cancer. It's the Moon, actually, which rules Cancer. Empress is Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra. Page of Wands comes out twice. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. 9 of Pentacles is Virgo. We have more Cancer in the Chariot. Queen of Wands is Aries. King of Pentacles is Taurus. And Page of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So that's what I have, along with your beautiful number 9 assessing Queen of the Moon Oracle. Link is below. I'm headed to the extended. Full moon blessings to all. Bye for now.